Harry Randall, I use the injury break to build up my muscles and make my pass faster. He has dipped his toes only briefly into the waters of international rugby, but Harry Randall is hoping to take the plunge again during the Six Nations for England next month. After the intense frustration of missing out on the autumn internationals, when he was sidelined by a hip injury suffered after a swimming and paddleboarding exercise on England's training camp in Jersey, it has not taken the Bristol Bears scrum half long to rediscover some buoyant form on his return to action. 10 days ago, against Leicester Tigers, his second game back, the 24-year-old started opposite Ben Youngs and was the game's outstanding creative force in a narrow defeat for his side. This Friday, when the Bears face Sale Sharks at Ashton Gate in the Gallagher Premiership, he will be denied the chance to go toe-to-toe with Rafi Quirke, the 20-year-old who staked a claim to become Young's England understudy with an eye-catching display from the bench against South Africa in November. Quirke has a minor thigh injury, but Randall's swift return to form in a struggling Bristol side seems sure to earn him a place in England's Six Nations squad this month. I'm only a few games back in, so the most important thing is building on those and getting back to full match fitness and sharpness, Randall said yesterday. I'd like to think my performances can come through and give me that opportunity again to be selected. The main focus at the moment is knuckling down here at Bristol. For the past couple of seasons, Randall has shown glimpses of a player who can trouble defenses at international level, an instinctive scrum half with an eye for a gap and a startling turn of pace. Eddie Jones, the England head coach, selected him in the Six Nations squad last year, only for an ankle injury to rule him out of the tournament. But he won his first 2 caps against the United States and Canada in the summer, forming an exciting attack-minded halfback pairing with Marcus Smith. That partnership was expected to continue in the autumn internationals until Randall took to the water off the Jersey coast. He tweaked his hip during the team bonding exercise, was cleared for training but injured his hip flexor during the session. I stepped on it later that evening in training. That was when it went, he said. We'd had a swimming challenge, in teams, we had to swim out to sea a certain distance, round a buoy, then come back. It was challenging. I'm not a terrible swimmer, but I'm not great, so it was tough. Back on dry land, he set about making the most of his rehabilitation period to strengthen his 5 feet 8 inches, 11.5 pounds frame. It was frustrating, but it's part and parcel of the job and you have to make the most of the time you're not playing, he said. I was in the gym a bit more, working on my upper body strength. I put on a bit of muscle, a bit of weight, and I feel like I've got a little bit stronger. Little things like that will hopefully go a long way. I'm not someone who tends to put on weight too easily. It was only a kilo or something, but now I'm trying to maintain that while playing. Randall has always punched well above his weight in defense, but the aim in carefully developing his physique is to enhance his skills as much as his impact in the tackle. The stronger you get, the faster your pass can be, he said. You use a lot of your wrists and arms in your passing, but I also use my legs a lot. I push through from there. There's more to it than meets the eye. I'm always trying to make my pass faster and more powerful. For all the frustration of missing out on adding to his 2 England caps in the autumn, and watching Quirke assert himself as a viable challenger, there was encouragement for Randall in England's performances. Rather than the turgid, kicking-based game they played last season, the reboot from Jones led them to exploit the quicker ruck speeds permitted by referees with a greater focus on attack. Those faster rucks play firmly into the hands of Randall, who is so adept at sneaking around the fringes of breakdowns when defenses fail to organize in time. I think rugby is going that way, he said. The breakdown is speeding up, the whole game is speeding up. I've always prided myself on playing with a high tempo. I really enjoy that. If that's the way the game's going, it's very exciting. The return of Randall should help to rescue Bristol from their troubled start, during which they have slumped from the heights of last season, when they finished top of the regular season table, to their present position in 12th place. With only 3 victories from their first 11 matches. There have been signs of revival in the narrow defeats by Leicester and Exeter Chiefs, and Sale will be acutely aware of the threat that Randall poses under the Friday night lights at Ashton Gate. He's a really big threat for them, Alex Sanderson, the Sale director of rugby, said. Any half-quick ball, he's in and through. He does it every week. So you've really got to lock them up around the ruck. We've got a real focus this week on making sure we're sharp around there. He's been great for them, that's why he's got in the England team.